move along with that recommendation, and I move that we seat St. Charles County into our delegation.
Chairman?
Second?
I'd like to make a motion not to seat St. Charles County on the contested slate due to the improprieties that have been brought up.
We've already got a motion on the floor, so the way to accomplish what you're trying to do is to defeat the motion. So there's a motion on the floor, so you'll vote up or down on that, so that would be the way to accomplish what you're doing. Since there's obviously going to be contested, by the rules and by the call from the state party, we have 6 minutes that we can debate that. 3 minutes pro, 3 minutes con, if someone wants to speak on either side. Since the motion's in the affirmative, St. Charles has 3 minutes if you would like to say anything in support of the motion. So the secretary's going to run the clock, but you're more than welcome to come up to the microphone, or I can hand it down to you, whatever's most convenient.
Try to make this brief. My name is Jeff Rakestraw. I was at the caucus. I was also at the hearing last week. At the caucus, I was part of the nominating committee who reviewed the slates that were presented. Our challenge, obviously, we cannot verify all that information. So we were just to make sure they had the right number of delegates and that information was listed in terms of name, address, all of the stuff that goes on the form. We had 2 slates that were being presented to us. One is the slate that is here today, and we reviewed that, looked at all the names, counted up, and put our initials on it. There were about 4 of us on the committee. When the second slate came up, she was put in front of me and several others. And we looked at it, and the first few pages were fine. The last few pages had only names, and the rest of the information was not filled out. So I was asked to put my initials on there, and I couldn't do that. It wasn't complete. And that is why I think that the committee voted last week to recommend seating this. So that's all I have to say.
They were on extra sheets.
Oh, all right, we have 3 minutes in opposition, so.
I'd like to speak, Mr. Chairman.
Come up and grab the mic. I'll bring it over for you.
Hi. The reason I'm opposing seating the St. Charles delegation is I have the proof right here. Now, in our own county, in Jefferson County, we had 3 different slates because we had 3 different districts. One of them had a duplicate, just like they had. It was thrown out immediately. So my question, everybody's going to vote here, is do we have a different set of rules for different counties? That's my biggest question I have here. On here, number 48 and number 59 are both a gentleman named Chad Adler. That means the slate is not supposed to go through, and I don't understand why it did go through to begin with. So I'm asking everybody here, when you do vote, that do we go ahead and just have certain rules for one county and not for the others, or what? Because in our county, in the 2nd district, one of the slates was just called off and that was it. And we was disqualified and that was it. So that's what we have to do. We either obey the rules or we don't obey the rules. Mistakes happen, and the mistake happened with ours. We had duplicate names on the other slate too, but it didn't go through. So it's up to us. If we want to be a party of rules, let's do it. If we want to go ahead and just mistake here and mistake there, that's it, fine.
We got a minute and a half left if someone else wants to speak. Just up to the mic. Secretary will catch up, so I want to get that through. Try to be.
I'd like to speak in behalf of the St. Charles delegation. I appreciate you being here and what you've done for us. I also understand how you can make duplications, but Franklin County took extra names, put those names at the bottom of our list, and if we found we had a duplication or we couldn't read it, then we moved names up. So therefore we had overabundance on our slates. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and understand that they may have. I was not present, but I would like to go ahead and recommend that we seat the delegation.
We all had to put a slate together put a slate together was very easy. The person needed to live in the district, he needed contact information, and you couldn't have the same person on there twice. And that was really the only rules that we needed to complete on this. And I believe there's an affidavit out there that there was a person on the St. Charles County slate who wasn't even notified. That was another thing that needed to happen. Well, if that's the case, then how do we even know that they're in good standing with the Republican Party? First and foremost, we need to make sure that is. We're sending them to the convention. So that's my biggest concern on this ballot, on this slate.
We've got about 30 seconds left on each side.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All I can say is this, St. Charles County, the state committee recommended that our delegate sits and our delegation. And Salis Popley Lexesta, let the will of the people be the supreme law. That is the motto of our state, and well, we're not the Democrats, so let the will of the people be the supreme law. Thank you.
That means that he voted for Trump. All the way through the convention. The will of the people.
Got one over here. This will probably take our 30 seconds.
Thank you. You were talking about the will of the people, and I would just like to help everybody remember that of all the counties that are in this congressional district, every single one of them, except for 2, went for Donald Trump. So if we want to talk about what wins for our district, that's the way it should be in the first place. So, thank you.
Okay. That will end the debate. You have a motion on the floor. The motion is in the affirmative to take the recommendation of the state party and go ahead and seat the St. Charles delegation. I'm going to ask the tellers to come forward. Rather than doing a voice vote, we're going to do a standing vote so we get an accurate count so folks are comfortable with the outcome. So Todd, if you'd come on down, and Ramona, if you would get ready. I'm going to ask Jeremy and Susie from the Credentials Committee to assist. Now, on this vote, St. Charles will not be able to vote, so it'll be just the folks that are delegates seated in the center section. So if you are in favor of the motion, in favor of seating St. Charles County, please stand now.
Oh, yeah. You need help. I understand. It's hard to joke with this plan. I think it's the right thing. We're going to say what's right. Yep. That's all right. It's the reason we're winning is because we're standing by it says what's right. What you did is you're so excited. You're just excited. This is true. It's still the same. Because the families vote for them, because we have to go vote for them.
Of course, I'm assuming you voted against. I said, I'm assuming you voted against all the time.
Yeah, but we look at the numbers. Look around here, look at the numbers.
Yeah. So pretty much.
They'll have a majority with this vote. Well, I don't even know if they'll take negative. They'll probably take negatives for the record, but.
No, not everybody in the parties.
Appreciate your patience. We want to make sure we do this right.